All right, we made it finally. A little delayed, but we're getting there. So get some screens in the right spot so I can see everybody. All right, let's see. How many we got here? I got four in here. How many people we got watching? Again, I'm all new to this YouTube stuff, so we're zooming with a few people, and I'm doing good do live with a few people here. So we're gonna wait a little bit now that I've got things working. So let's see. So I'm hearing myself twice. So sorry guys, I'm just making sure everybody's getting in that's in the meetings here and all that good stuff. People that are on Zoom after we get off live, there's questions afterwards. We can go through that kind of stuff too. Just let you guys, I'll let you guys turn the mics on and we'll go that route. Uh, like I said, I'm all new to this YouTube live stuff, so it's gonna be an experience. So and I'm gonna have you guys help me out here with some other things. Second here. Sure I'm not missing nothing. There is a Zoom link, but for right now, I'm not gonna give it out. Maybe next time once we get everything. This is like I said, first time using YouTube Live, so bear with me. You know, I'm trying to chit chat with a little bit of everybody. We'll see how we go here. So I want to make sure I'm getting everybody in the meeting that I got over here. All right. Well, none of you seen earlier, I did put a post out in the group. XCS with the F1 Ultra being released, they did put a new XCS beta 2.0.79 out, which is I think some stuff you guys are really gonna like on this new one. It's definitely some stuff people have been asking for, a lot of stuff people have been asking for. So hopefully everybody can hear me still. I just can give me a thumbs up in the chat, and you guys can chat in Zoom also. I'm watching both of them, so as best as I can. So sure I'm doing. I will record this. This is getting recorded on my end also, and we will be posting it on my YouTube channel at the end of the later today, if not tomorrow. So I usually go through and clean it up and all that good stuff. So all right. Well, let's go. Let's hop into this new XCS right now. So I said, I'm not sure how many people are on this. We got five people online, maybe. So not a bunch. I'll take it. We'll take what we can get. So okay. So let me share my XCS. Oh, share space. Oh, we're gonna play with some stuff here, guys. So bear with me. All right. Let's see how this goes. So XCS 2.0. People haven't come from 1.7 and all that good stuff. It's a little different. You definitely get a little bit of a different sticker shock when you hop into it. Um, you lose your bar on the top. Nothing's up there no more. Everything is pretty much on the right hand side now. So sorry guys, things popping up on screens. I'm getting used to this. Oh, darn it. I'm gonna have to drop off a video just to drop me off the YouTube guys, unfortunately. So we'll do this a little different. Let me edit this. We'll go this route. Learned this yesterday. Gotta drop out of the video, unfortunately. I don't know how to move myself off of YouTube. It takes up some space that I want to show you guys all some stuff. So, it's hard for me, guys. I'm trying to figure out where I'm at, and nobody's talking, and it's hard for me to talk by myself for this long. So, more
No
chiming in and
worries.
chatting and popping up is beneficial for me, just so I can see what's make sure you guys are still there and hanging on with me and all that good stuff. So,
Don't worry. We're
again,
patient.
alrighty, thank you. XCS 2.0, it is very, 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 very good software. I mean, I know a lot of people are complaining because it's beta still. They have definitely made leaps and bounds from 1.7 to 2.0 to now, even what you're going to see today. So in this 2.0.79, just to start out top, again, I'm not sure where everybody is on this. Again, a lot of people don't like 1.7 or 2.0 because it's beta, so they don't want to change over to it yet because it's not finalized and all that stuff. But I've been using it for a good 2 months now. We were able to test it out and all that good stuff. This is what it comes to now. You get kind of a recent folder, which is nice. I think it's like 10 or 12 you get to have right off the bat, always there. You log in, you have your MySpace. MySpace is just basically stuff that you can store. They do offer up to so many free files you can save, and that will work to your phone, to your tablet. You can buy more space. It's kind of like a Dropbox feature. And then Xtool projects, it just takes you to more kind of what's down here. It just gives you more options, just stuff to play with, get familiar with the software. This just kind of gives you like the nuts and bolts of moving forward. Again, like I said, this is kind of going to be a real basic how XCS, where stuff's at. I'm going to show you a couple features, probably more toward the end, like the union and combine. I'm going to go over that a little bit. But again, this is definitely going to be a basic overview of XCS. So everybody's aware. As you can see at the top, now in XCS 2.0, you can actually have up to 6 tabs open at the same time. And each one of these can actually be connected. As you can see, I actually got 2 for the 20 watt. I have my F1 connected. I got my P2 connected. And you can have all these, and you can design in every single one of them while one is cutting, and actually send to all the 3 different. I got 3 lasers right now going, so I'll send all 3 of them. So, at the same time, and I'm gonna try to pay attention to what everybody's making any comments and stuff. So, but basically across top, your basic XCS, you get your file, you import, you save, close, same stuff, export SVGs. That's always a nice one to have now. The settings. So this settings on the left, you'll see people in the Facebook groups, settings on the left, settings on the right. Well, the settings on the left is always for the XCS itself. So right now, this is your general stuff. They did make some hotkeys, which is nice. And a lot of people do millimeters, inches. So I think this is a new feature in this update is the hotkey for units now. And then auto snapping is another one that I love that they turned a hotkey in. So Control R will turn auto snap on and off. And I'll show you these things when we go through the software a little bit. If you want to see a list of all the new hotkeys, another thing you'll see is when you do the right button click, there'll be a list of hotkeys, quick keys, whatever you want to call them. So the vector quality, most of the stuff I keep the way it is. I see that they actually finally made this one keep its size. I highly recommend that one. Don't let it auto scale, and it's auto scales bad. You're going to bring a file in that has pockets, it doesn't work real well. So that route. DXF, a lot of people don't know why they use DXF. I come from a CAD background, so DXF files, most DXF files come in more broken up. So if you have a file that has a bunch of little pieces, little spots on it, it usually comes each one individually. And I can show you again, a new feature that's in here, which you really don't need a DXF file no more. And I'll explain that one. And then the customer parameter settings, import, export. This is something I highly recommend, just doing it every once in a while, especially if you do multiple computers. This is your settings. So if you have a bunch of settings you use constantly, there's a way to save them now in 2.0. So We'll show you how to do that also. And you're obviously checking for updates and what service pack on. You can see we're on 2.0.79 beta. So then you just got your normal save. Canvases are now here. Again, you can have up to 10 canvases. You just hit add, adds another canvas, same concept. And then there's a little toggle box that will drop you down. Oh, let's see. Obviously, forward back. This is just your select. This is technically a pan button. Again, there's a hotkey for that also. I always leave it on this. If you hold your space bar, it will help you pan also. Just hold it down and it turns to that hand. So that's another new feature. Let's see, keep going across. And another one people have issues with is connecting from XCS to 2.0 from 1.7 to this one. So again, because you have the ability to connect more lasers, even though it says, I can click on this one, says not connected, it'll ask me to switch. This always tells you because if you're doing different lasers, if it's the same laser, it won't ask you to switch. This one, it'll ask you to switch just because I'm going from the P2 to the S1. Even though, see, it says not connected. So even if I hit connect, see if I'll actually want it to fail. It probably won't, but say that connected because I have been connected. If it doesn't connect, if you go down to connect device, again, old school, back to 1.7, all mine are Wi-Fi. So sometimes what happens is it doesn't know if it's Wi-Fi or USB when you first connect and get into it. So this is where I always come in here. If I have an issue on that screen, come in here, find what you need and connect it and you'll be good to go. So let's see here. So that's that. So that's where that's, again, very, very, I love this feature to be able to do more than one laser. Your normal framing. Let's see what we got up here. Again, updates, another spot for settings. These are messages. Hopefully they fixed what they had in issues with this before. It'll tell you what's going on. So it tells me when my tasks are done and what got done and all that stuff. So these are just things you can do. Mark them as red. This is kind of your error. So if you end up, like before, we used to have a big thing that says, hey, something's not working right. This is where it will show up, is in this area now. So pay attention to that. If you see a little mark up there, it will always be active when laser is running also, because it just says that's what's going on. So, and then obviously your framing and your processing. So then you come over to here, settings. Again, now this is your laser settings. So basically you can go in here. If you want to rename it, I rename mine Frankie. You name whatever you want. There's no whatever you want to do. And this is also where you just set up your Wi-Fi also. So, and then your working settings. So your export, your sensitivity. If you bump it, you can make it so it shuts off, stuff like that. Light brightness is the light inside on the S1s. And then obviously your auto settings for cut and engrave. So if you do want your fan to set longer, you can set this up to 300 seconds. So some people like longer. I mean, I always have a bad tendency opening it before that. Even now, I set it for 120, and I still open it before that. So then if you are running the conveyor, this setting, what it does is it basically takes it back to where you started it every time if you have this checked. If you don't, it will just stop at the last part and it'll stay there. So if you ever want to run it again, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I would recommend having this checked to have it come back to 0. So, all right. Obviously, modes. So this is where you check if you want to do rotary, curved material, conveyor feeder, and then screen preparation for this one, for the S1. You can do all that kind of stuff. So this is where you pick the different things. And obviously, once you change, things do change. Things get bigger. Settings get a little different. So they did make it longer, which is nice. You do your chuck, your roller. Perimeter. Again, another thing I've seen a lot of people doing is perimeter is what the measurement is around your cup, not the end of the diameter. So all the way around is perimeter. That's where you put that in, and then your distance. So let's see. Obviously, curved is. We can go on another whole class on just the curved material stuff. So if you want to go that route, let me know. We can go over that stuff in another video. But in every laser, so this is where what will change. So the settings in a lot of these features. So say if I hop over to the, okay, I already shut down the P2. So let's hop over to P2 real quick, just to show you what changes. And again, I'm not sure how many people are in here because I know they promoted this one in the S1 group, so I was going to try to stay mostly in S1. Appreciate them letting me put that out there for the people. Like I said, you buy this nice expensive laser and then don't know how to run the software, it sucks. So, but obviously in the P2, you get the camera view. You can turn that off. Just right click, hide background, turns that off. And then again, you have settings, name, what it is, how long it's been running. This actually gives you a lot of times, again, in settings and stuff. So these will change depending on your lasers in that area. So that's why that settings is different than the left. We always say left and right settings when people explain stuff in the groups. So, and then obviously your distance in the S1, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can move the laser by hand. It's what's nice about the S1. Put it where you want the crosshairs to hit measure, it'll auto measure. That's your auto measure. So, and this is different than the P2 because it does measure, the P2 measures actual thickness. This one measures a distance from the head down. So the number's not one, it's like a 1.6 is usually for like 1/8 inch material. So it's not a 1 point or 0.11 or 3 millimeters. It's not that. So that's a lot of people get thrown off by that also. So let's see what we got. So I know somebody asked in the YouTube chat, auto planning. So this is where you can change your auto planning. It is defaulted, I think, now to if you have a bunch of cluster stuff, it will do it all at one time. Check it, especially tumblers. It does get a little funny, but right now, so you got set at 1 by 1 or all together. That's another feature. And then this is another new feature that they just put out in this new update is you can actually go from top to bottom now or from bottom to top. So I think a lot of people will be excited about that because I know a lot of people say, hey, you should do it from bottom to top. It pushes more smoke to the fan. So hopefully a lot of people will like that feature that you can go from bottom to top now. And then obviously you can get your laser position on S1s. It's a little crosshairs for the start marking. We'll do something here. It doesn't really mark unless I'm zeroed. So and then obviously the shoot background is those news. I don't know if people have seen it. Again, there's little tabs, little circles that you can get from Xtool. You buy them, you put them on the screen, and it will actually do like a camera. You use your phone that uses the Xtool software on your phone, and you can kind of do that. It's where you can do the batch processing and all that stuff. So let's see. So again, so I just zeroed it. So now I can go to start marking. And then this is another feature. I really like this. I don't get me wrong, I like the camera. I like this because it's more cut and dry for me. I use a lot of polygons. I mean, obviously square, if you got something square, you just click which one you want. Don't forget to hit start. So you come in here, you just mark. To do this, all you're doing is moving it by hand to the locations and hitting the button, the start button on the laser. So, and then hit end marking and say, hey, I got another spot I want to do. I can actually go up there, say, hey, I want to do a circle. You know, that circle is going to be over in this area. But you can do multiple things. And this is where, like I said, I like this because if I have some scrap pieces that I want to cut some stuff out of, I can do this where I can either do specific shapes or you can go do a polygon, which is just you can do any funny shape you want. It's just you can do all kinds of weird things. Stuff like that. And again, end marking. And this is where it is nice to have for doing, again, like I said, cleaning up my scraps. I can utilize a lot more of my scraps with the S1 and not having that camera and be able to do this kind of stuff. And then it puts it on the screen. And now I can put, either that's my void areas where I don't go or one of those things. So also we'll get over to this side here in a second. Real quick though, I'm gonna throw a shape in here just to show you. So say you got something in these, and this is where the nice thing with snap, so right now I don't have snap on, but if I turn it on, you can see how it like grabs, it wants edges and all that stuff, but it will snap to the center of these markings also. So that's a nice feature. That's where, like I said, now that they haven't been able to turn the snap on and off quickly is very, very handy. So yeah, that's part of that group. Let's see, missing anything down there. Okay, so that's all you got on that side. So back over here, this is your image. A lot of people get confused sometimes. This is gonna be your PNG file, your SVG files, stuff like that. That's what you use to bring this stuff in. So it's pretty cut and dry. You can bring pretty much anything in, any photos, JPEGs, anything like that. I have a file that's set up just for my pictures, SVGs, anything. I'll bring in something funny. But that's what that folder's for. You can bring anything in but an XCS file, because I've had people, I've done it myself. I go in there and I go and look for an XCS file. I'm like, I can't find it. It's gone. I don't know where it's at. It's because I'm not going to the file open. I'm going trying to find an image. So, and if you ever want to get these off your screen also, you just go over to here, hit delete, and delete them off the screen. So we're working down our line. Text now it's wherever you click is where it is now. So another new feature, if people don't, again, come from 1.7, it's not always in the middle of the screen no more. Very nice. I love it. So this is another nice feature. Just double click on it. Type what you want now. So, and then another new feature, which is I know in this version that people I think are going to be ecstatic about, is the ability to finally go through and scroll all your fonts. They had it before where you could at least click on them, but now you can scroll right through them. I love this feature. Little things makes us happy, right? So that's a great thing on that. And again, for new people coming into XCS, you can't weld. If you always have this issue with these tails like this, there's this weld button here is what this is. So this is what helps you blend it all to one. Unfortunately, when you do that, it's not, that's a new feature coming out. I'll show you guys here in a second. But it doesn't make it editable anymore, unfortunately. So if there's something you want to change constantly, a name or something, what I always do is just make a copy. And that's where this is nice. You have all this workspace. You can store stuff out here, just paste it out there. Do what you want to do your engrave. Come over here, grab that one, edit it, union it, move on. It's just the best way for now until they come up with a way to edit text on the fly kind of thing. So as for text, obviously you can score it, can engrave, cut it, all that stuff's down again, going through the processes. Those are all usable features. This is your settings. So this is, again, I have a setting in here. So they've moved the power and speed and stuff to this easy set panel. So you'll get this fly out now. It's another new feature they just added to. So you have your power. You can't ever set nothing if you already have it kind of set. If something's already got a program to it, it doesn't let you adjust it. So as soon as I change this to 80, now this little icon up here opens up. Now I can actually save this, name it whatever I want, font speed or whatever, score. It's you can name it whatever you want. It'll save over here. Score S1 dark, I don't know, something like that. So, and that's all set. Passes, you can change that now. But the kerf offset is actually something new they've added. You can actually go in here and offset the kerf on this, so it will actually compensate by points. I've actually used that on a box I made the other day, and it actually worked fabulous. I was very impressed. So, and again, it's something you guys got to play with. But again, these features that they're adding onto this to make it more of a design and be able to do stuff right in XCS. I don't use very many other softwares, hardly at all anymore. I do a lot of the stuff in XCS nowadays. So, then you got your basic bring stuff front, back. This is on, again, this is not just a text thing. So this is pretty much everything. We'll run through the text stuff here real quick. So obviously you got your angles, you can rotate it. That size, this is just leading. So say you have it space, that space in between, that's what this is for. You can either go larger, or obviously you can actually put negative numbers in there also. So if you want, this is how people get their words to blend together. Now you can union all that together. You know, that's how you get your words to come together and do that kind of stuff without having to cut and do each one separately. So, and then obviously this one here is the opposite way. So now you put your spacing in your letters and spread them out. So, oh, they even got drop downs. Look at that. Even better. That's something new. Learned something new myself. So, like I said, this is actually, I just downloaded the 0.079 today. I've played with a little bit of these features, but there's a couple things that I might run across that I didn't know were new. So if you see me say, hey, that's cool, that's why, because that's the first time I've seen it. So let's see. We'll keep going through. Obviously, your basic shapes. They did put the hotkeys on the side now. So again, the hotkeys LRC. That way you just press L, draw a line, R. Again. So if you hold the shift button down, it will make it square. Always same size by same size. If you don't, then you can make it any size you want. Circle, same thing. You can make ellipse, whatever. You hold shift, it makes it perfectly circle. So, and again, this goes back to, you know, if you want to do the snaps, this is where it's you can really do some cool stuff and get things to, you know, do what you want to do. We'll come back and use that here in a second. Pen tool. Again, if you're coming from 1.7, pen tool is not very good. Now it's definitely a lot more user friendly in my terms. Again, this is where Snap kind of sucks when you have it on this, but and you can do it the way I did it. You can do it on the fly. You can go in here and change these nodes, edit whatever you want. You double click them, it does do the basic middle node here where you have both things to play with. But they do make it so you can actually do different things now too, where you don't have one side you want to bend. You know, it does give you a lot more design abilities. Not sure which one this is doing. So it's still symmetrical, but not completely symmetrical. So that's, like I said, one of those nice new features that the node editing lets you play with a lot more design stuff. It's definitely way more design friendly. And obviously you can see that there's more centers and you can do a lot more different things. You really want to be precise on that node to be in the right spot. You know, I can move it to 10. It's going to move over. That's actually really cool to be able to do that because you can see kind of where stuff is at. Again, see, I said that's cool. I didn't pay attention to that's what the rules are for. The scissors. Again, when you have more of elaborate, this is not a good example because you never want to have it open, but you can actually cut from node to node out now. So again, if there's some stuff that's you want to clean up, do stuff like that, this is where the nodes comes in handy. Actually, no, we're going to try something. If I hit done. So this shouldn't. It's still sealed. That's actually nice. I like that. See, again, learn something new. So you can actually still enclose. It will still enclose a open face. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, um, keep going down here real quick. We'll go through these. Obviously, this is your basic shapes. You have all kinds of basic shapes. Their inventory, their library. Same thing. You got borders, plants. I mean, this is the cool thing. This is always there. It's on the XCS. You know, they've updated a little bit in this last the one before. Don't know if they've updated. Not too many new ones in there. Looks like so. But just things you can play with and get started. And from what I'm told, these are all you put them in your designs. You sell the designs. They're good with it. Uh, this one AI. If you want to start doing the laser AI, you can do it. I don't do a lot of this, so I'm not gonna kind of bore you. I did make these dragons. It's one of those things. It's just the more descriptive you are in here, the better your image is going to turn out. There is a cost, so as long as you buy stuff, you can buy points, but there's points that are accumulated when you buy stuff. When you buy your laser, you should have like 10,000 points. I've spent a lot of them playing and stuff, so all that good stuff. Let's see. I got 8 Bear with me, people. Sorry about the quietness. All right, let's see here. Let's go back. So to get out of this, again, there's different things you can do. So obviously this new emboss, that's one of the features they showed up, I think, last night to be able to do for the Ultra. I don't think it works for anything else but the Ultra right now. So, but to get back, just hit the X on the right-hand corner here. That gets you back. And then close the screen. Then we have this one here. So this is obviously your grid array, circle arrays, which grid array. The other nice thing about this one, in 1.7, you couldn't move this out of the way. It's so much better now that you can move it out of the way. I wish I could still move around, but at least I can move this out of the way. Nice. Um, so it just straight grid. You guys pretty self-explanatory what you're doing on this one. Uh, circle, same concept. Can actually change X, Y, Z, center of the circle, start, end, angle, all that good stuff. So the one thing it does do, it does put them as a group. Whenever you make out all this stuff now, it groups them, so you do have to ungroup them if you want to do stuff individually. Just a FYI. We'll kind of use this for an example here. So this is obviously where you do your material test also. So if you got a piece, see, that's another something new. It didn't use it to pop up right away like that, but I guess it did. So again, let's clean up the screen. So to do your material test, again, this is another one that people have a lot of trouble with. I think people are getting a lot better about it, but as long as you set it to what you want, so score, obviously, there's really nothing else you need to change. Don't set your material because it will mess with the settings sometimes. I've seen it go both ways. Engrave, this one gives you a little bit more options because when you go to easy set, you do have the ability to change the lines per centimeter. So that was the one thing that you can actually play with in your grid. So, and then again, I still don't know why there's unidirectional. Everybody's gonna pick bidirectional just for speed. So that's what that's for. And then for a cut test, again, there's really nothing you'd want to change. If you want to play with the curve offset now, you probably could. Ooh, they did pull it back. So we'll explain these other ones here in a second. But yeah, so that's you just basically set what you need here, pick your material, go to material test array. Cut tests, I would leave it as, whatever you feel comfortable with space wise. You kind of know what settings are. You get to the point where you'll know I don't need to go 300 because it's never going to cut at 300 millimeters per second. So you know to bring it down a little bit, kind of stuff like that. I know there's a lot of tests out there that are easy to use, downloadable, but you'll get the hang of knowing what works and what doesn't, and not waste a bunch of time doing 300 by 100 because it'll never cut at that speed. So, and then obviously again, it does union it, so it's all grouped together. Put it where you want, size it where you need. I mean, you can go small, you can go big. It doesn't really hurt nothing. So that is the cut test. If anybody's got any questions, please type them up. Let me know. We can kind of bash them through a little bit just because there's not too many people on right now. So again, I'm hoping I'm not missing nobody on Zoom. Can't tell if anybody is waiting in the waiting room or not. So sorry. Code generation. I use this a ton, especially QR codes. Uh, Either I do people's Venmos I do a lot of shows, so I get customers come up maybe or other people come up to the show and being like, "Hey, can you make me a QR code?" Because they're sick of their paper one blown away. So I've done on my keychains and all that stuff. They just got to give me their website or their link, and you can put my website in there. So you just type in what you want for the website. Any link, go to the thing. You can do your link. I do my Facebook page and my website are on my business cards. Um, it creates it. You don't want to mess with the dot matrix. Again, we'll explain this stuff on here, but if you scan that, it'll take you to my website. Simple as that. It's that easy. And if you want to just do something with some information on it, you can do the same thing. You just type in what you want, this. Man, I can't type though. So again, now if you scan that one, it'll just bring you up that text. It just brings up the text. So it's one of those things where you can utilize it any way what you want. If you want to have something on the table, I mean, some people like the QR codes and some people are sick of the QR codes thanks to COVID. So, all right, let's see. What do we got here? This off. Real quick, since these are technically PNG files, I'm gonna kind of use it. Like I have another sample over there, but you have your edit files, you can edit images, trace images, filters. I have another example. That's what this puppy was up here for. So again, I don't have to be in the workspace to work on anything. I can be over here. If you want to edit your image, click edit image. This again, any PNG, JPEG file, you can go in here and do this. You have your magic wand, your eraser, your crop tool. Those are the three that are the magical eraser is worth its weight in gold myself. Fuzziness, they really need to change just the shade. It's basically the shades of color. So if I turn it way down and I hit this, it's going to erase all the white. It's awesome. It's great. Then if you want to undo something, the undo is actually on this right hand side. So if you go and turn this up, say you go there, now we hit this. See how it's pulling some of the grays, so it's starting to get into different shades. So that's what it is. It's more of a shade of color. So if you get something that starts doing like that, just undo it, turn it down. Obviously, eraser. Everybody knows what the eraser is. You can just go in there and clean stuff up. Want to get something silly erased out of the way. Change size, zoom. If you do hit control, it will zoom in and out and roll your mouse. Shift will actually pan you side to side. And that works in this one and in the other system. And obviously the last one's crop. So if you want to crop this, you hit the right crop button. Let's go back to that crop. Whatever that was. Check mark, crop it. So when you hit save, it doesn't save a copy of this. I know some people ask me this question. It doesn't save it to your desktop. It doesn't save it. It saves it in the file. So it's only in this file. So again, people do. I was big on Imager. They use them a lot, but I mean, I've kind of cut back a little bit on them just because you can do a lot inside. XCS again, filters. There's a lot of basic filters you can kind of play with. They do look funny sometimes, but you'd be surprised. Stuff like this turns out awesome when you engrave it. It's crazy when you do little things like this. And I've done a couple of these by accident, and they've turned out phenomenal. So, uh, but these are just kind of filters, are just some basic stuff you want to play with. Sometimes they look really don't great. I mean, obviously that I would probably not engrave because it just doesn't look good. But you know, or you can keep it this route and just go to adjust. And this is where you can change some sharpness. And then this way you can go to your grayscale. If you want to lighten something up, you have something that's too dark, you can back it off with this slider here. If you need to make it darker, you just turn the other end up. It turns those. So this is where you can kind of play with a little bit of your adjustments for grayscale. And then obviously this button down here is your invert for doing the slate, business cards. That's where you check that here to get that invert. So anything that's dark is obviously what's going to get engraved away or changed to a lighter color. Obviously with the slate, it turns white, and the aluminum on the other stuff. So that's how you got to think in that sense. Back. So while we're in this, I'm gonna do trace on this one. Trace, you can use it. I wouldn't do it on a photo. Some people have. This is where, like I said, if I did something like this, quit hitting that button. I go to filter, usually play with these black and white or sketch lines. Something like this. And then if you want to go in there and trace, let's see if we can crash my computer. Not too bad, but you just play with it. I mean, what this does is it makes it change it to a sketch and that kind of stuff. And it's just playing with the denoise and the senses, and there's different layers and all that stuff. So that's why I said photos, because there's so many little nuances, it does get a little time consuming, computer heavy. So I have this one here. A lot of people like to do, I've done a lot of them actually. So we're gonna undo this real quick. I'll leave it. So right now I have these union together for a reason. Actually, one of the new features this new software has is this release compound vector. So when you union something together, you can actually click this, and now I actually have two separate. It actually deselects the kind of union, which is kind of nice. What I was going to show is you select the PNG file and then just one SVG file. So right now I'm considering this is two. You select one and then the PNG file, you can actually create a mask. And this is how you do all those nice, funny shapes, do really cool stuff. Hit done. And now you can cut that out however you want to do it. It does lose the cut edge. So I've always recommended to make two. So you can keep one there for a cut edge and then the second one to do the mask. So that's my suggestion. But if you want to, done. Now, say if you want to have, I know this is a fake halo, a second spot, it always has to be one image. So if you select both, either make compound vector or union. So if I go to compound vector, now it's one, and then Select that. Select both. Create mask. And now you can do, and then you can also move this, kind of where you want it inside. So another option. One other thing I want to show you just to explain what I mean by this being a compound. So this, if I try selecting all three of these, it won't give me the option to do a mask. It doesn't give me, because you can do some stuff in here too. So you can't do it unless it's just one. Let's see. Anybody else? Guys are quiet, man. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Hope you guys are getting some good information out of this. Let's see. So what's that? Let's see. So this is a PNG file. This is kind of what I'm gonna use the trace feature on. So people I always ask them questions. Hey, I want to be able to do certain things with a file. So this is where a nice PNG file, I can't edit it. I can't delete stuff off of it. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Well, if you go in here and you just select it, hit trace, it has been so much better lately. But see if it gives me some fits. It will grab pretty much everything. I didn't even have to adjust any of the settings. And I mean, you can see it goes right in and grabs every little, and sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes you just want to make sure you go in there and check. Sometimes it'll miss a little circle. But now if I hit save, it basically gives me, because right now if I click this one, I hit engrave, it only gives me engraves. All I can do is engrave. I can't cut, I can't score, I can't do anything like that. I can't adjust anything. Now, this file, I can score it, I can engrave it, I can cut it. And this is again one of the new features in this one is it's union together right now, so that's why it's selecting everything, but it actually saves it as, I mean, everything is separate. I mean, if you want to go in here, and again, I'm going to show you another new feature here. And this is where, again, 2.0 is so much better for this reason is, any of these items, and I'm not saying this is one you'd actually do this on. I use it a lot for more cleaning up files that I kind of played with. If you double click on these, as you can see, there's nodes now. And now we can actually go in here and play, do what you want, make his legs, different, longer, move them around. Obviously you got to play with it a little bit, but you can do it. Let's see. Can box select. Let's see if I can do this. So from this point that I selected to this point, and if you hit, I want to say, no, it hit me all. Swear there was a way to do that. We're playing with something here. Sorry, guys. Shift. But yeah, so you can go in there, and this is where you can do a lot of node editing, and if you want to cut his tail off, I mean, obviously you can go in here and clean it up. I'm big on editing it back. I'm so used to closing off stuff, so it's really cool that you can. I mean, obviously you can go in here and select a bunch, hit delete, it'll delete all of them. This is how I clean a lot of bumpy stuff up. Then you can grab your pen tool and get out of it. Oh, no why. I'm already in the pen tool. But yeah, stuff like that. I mean, it's definitely design friendly. I mean, it's people have asked about doing this node editing stuff for a long time. Um, I think that's going to make a lot of difference. People wanting to make the fancier letters, and it's going to make that doing a lot easier. So again, points and stuff. Let's see, what else do we got? So with this set also, if you do have something like this, that's where this make compound vector, you can actually bring it as one, break it instead of doing a union, because you can always release it again, just turn it back. It's another nice new feature. I do really like that one also. That's going to be handy. Let's see ahead. So this one was kind of cool. I actually ran into this one on accident. So this is another one people have asked for. Get rid of this real quick. Oh, obviously not delete. Delete. So obviously you have your layers down here, also colors. You can select per color. That's not what I was going to show you guys, but everybody's been asking. Oh, I want center. They finally got aligned center. Bam, great. Um, so another thing too, if I have this one I think I found by accident. If I want to group this for some reason, we like grouping it. But now, hey, I only want to move the red layer. Even though it's still grouped, I can move that layer out of the way. I can move this one. Obviously, I got other ones, so that's why it's grabbing all these other layers down here. But I can move that stuff out of the way, but it's still grouped. It's still grouped together, which I thought was really kind of cool. I mean, again, a weird handy feature. So, what's up, Tracy? So yeah, some really cool new stuff coming with this stuff is I really like a lot of these new updates. I'm thinking a lot of people are gonna like how this stuff's gonna work and make. So that's why I did what I did. It's grouped. Again, grouping is not always a good thing. It's handy to align stuff and locate things, but it doesn't help. It's for design purposes only. It has nothing to do with the laser. Grouping does not change order, does not do anything of that sorts. So just a FYI. So again, let you go back this one. So line center, nice new feature. Again, we'll do a real quick overview on the combine button here. So I use all my examples. I always do everything in engrave to help this make more sense. People, you got to understand, in XCS, everything is technically solid, even though we see it as see-through and scores and lines and all that stuff. It's all solids. That's the way you got to look at it. So, that's not too blue. So even though that says scored, it's still a solid because that's why I can do this. As you can see, that's sitting on top of that one. So you can either go over here, send to the back, and now the other one's sitting on top of the other one. You know, they do have it now where you can actually do it right from the right click. If I right click the mouse, it'll let you do it from here now. So send to the back. So this is where, again, if you select both, box select them both, say I want to cut that corner out. So I'm gonna use the circle to cut the corner out. Circle's got to be on top. Subtract. It'll cut it out. It's the other way, obviously. To the front. Now we push this one through. Select them both. Subtract. Takes the chunk out of the corner. You know, that's the kind of the base niche of cut, you know, subtraction. Obviously unions them together, makes it one shape. Subtract the overlap. I like that one a lot myself. I use it to do, and again, this is more preference. It's definitely when you have a bigger item and you want something to go through in a smaller area. It's just, you get a font that comes in that has the middle of the B not cut out. What I normally do is I go through and I select that whole thing and hit subtract that overlap, and it will get rid of all that kind of stuff. So best way of doing it. Something I'm gonna say subtract the overlap. Let's do a test. So you got subtract the overlaps on the right hand side here. So let's see what happens. So it did cut the. So it'll still, no matter what, it cuts out what's underneath. It can be underneath. This one doesn't matter if it's top or bottom. So if you're just doing a straight cut through, that's what the subtracted overlap does. So that's where that one's nice. So no matter which way you are, if it's top, bottom, you don't have to worry about which one's where. That's what's nice about that one. And then real quick, we'll do union. And that's where, like I said, a lot of people question, how do I get the ornament kind of thing? There's outline. You can go inside, you can go outside. Bitmap. Don't drag it. Always confirm. Because right now, if I turn these both to engrave, you're not gonna see nothing. It's because they're both red, obviously. But again, I use subtract overlap. I know it's always gonna be right. And then I know people have had questions about shapes, some trees. Colors you guys can see. I want this tree, but I want that outside ring to not be there. Copy that. So what I did is I just made a dummy to make sure I'm the same size as this one. Again, we'll change the color just so we know that it's. Let's see if this gets funky. I only wish they'd make it so you could lock one down so it doesn't move, but we'll get there. That one. So if you got this tree outside, say you want to trim that tree, the outside of that tree off instead of the inside. Green layer, tree. And this is where the union, again, another one I think they need to reword it. It's not really union overlap, it's more subtract. It's trim. It's more of a trim button. Because now it's going to trim the outside. So now we have obviously the tree on the inside. And then if you want to union that all together, you can. You don't have to. Oh, no why. So that's how you trim those ornaments and stuff like that. Let's see what else we got. I feel like I'm missing some stuff. Showed you how to do the planning. Again, you can make them compound vectors. Those are really nice. I mean, it's again, it's more of a way to say union it. It might help with the file formats and stuff like that, not taking up a lot of space. And all these files, anything you bring in, you double click on it and you can edit the nodes now. I mean, it's really cool how you can go and play with stuff. Be careful. Some stuff comes in with a million nodes on it too. So all of a sudden you can't, your files really, really slow. That could be why. This is definitely working a lot faster in this version than it was in the beta version I was playing with earlier. So, but let's see. Through all that stuff. Man, I made it an hour. So yeah, I mean, if anybody's got any questions, want me to show you something, I kind of leave it open to both YouTube and my Zoom call right now. We can get a little more personal on Zoom here in about 10 minutes. So anybody got any questions at all? Missing something I missed? Questions on, like I said, if some people that came in late, This is new 2.0.79. They just released it today. I'm not sure when today, but I seen it when I was looking online. So I figured why not throw it out there. So there's a lot of new things out there if you guys want to jump into this. It actually will let you cut stuff and it will still close up, which is kind of cool. So you can download 2.0. Again, they still consider it beta. So there is some still potential. I mean, again, I've been playing with this right now. It's one of those things you never want to do and change something before you do a live like this. But yeah, you can go in there. It's the first, they actually have the beta. And if you don't like it, something's not working right, you can go down there and actually go back and roll back to 1.7 if you want to. They have both on there right now. So it will not update through your X tool. You actually have to go to the website to download it. What's up, Joe? So again, like I said, we're updating. This is the new update. So for 2.079. So a lot of new updates. I know some people that came in late, this will make a lot of people happy is just this little things make me happy. I mean, being able to scroll through and have text change. I spend so much time just looking at text, it's silly. So just being able to scroll through it now is great. So here's another one that I might have missed for new people. Obviously this isn't 1.7. Hopefully people know you can actually bend the text, stuff like that. When I usually do miss. So but so yeah, like I said, if there's anything else, I know the idea was to be here till 7:30. I don't know what else I can kind of run through for you guys. Again, for some of the people coming in late, they do have the option now to go from bottom to top now instead of from top to bottom. That's a new feature this new which is nice. I think that's gonna make a lot of more people. It's gonna be good for the people that do the YouTube stuff. You can do a lot more videos. I think that'll be cool to see some of that stuff come out. So um, does anybody got any questions about F1 or the P2? We can kind of throw those out there real quick. If not, like I said, we can try to what else we could walk through. I think I pretty much covered everything. Oh, actually, there's one more thing. So your layers are actually down here now, the bottom left corner. I know a lot of people don't like this because it would always, you couldn't just pick the one. Again, if you select down here, you still can rearrange them same way. The one thing they did add on this is, let's see if I can get that. Is you can actually change the names of these now. So, which is again another one that's really cool. So now I know exactly what it is. I don't see just a bunch of vectors. So other than that, sorry for the people that came in late on YouTube. This will be posted later. I'll go through, I'll clean it up and get my rambling out of there, all my ums and ohs, because like I said, first time doing this YouTube live thing. I know I really wasn't on here much just because when I share my screen, it covers up some stuff I wanted to be able to show. Let's see, I'm sure I'm not missing anything else. I think that's pretty much covers a lot of stuff. I'm sure I'm going to forget something as soon as I say, hey, we're done, guys. It's one of those things, but so again, the settings, I kind of covered it a little bit. So when I said user settings, so obviously that's another new thing in 2.0 for people. Again, people coming from 1.7 to 2.0. The material library is actually, it's great to have it. it is internet based. So if you are at a show, you go to try to do a user material, it will not work. It's the only thing that's internet based. Um, if you click on something, say you want to do, set your material. And once you put it in your library, though, it is in your library. So once you've looked at it, it does stay. But if you do click on the material easy set library, it does go to the website. It lets you find what you want. Obviously, there's a filter, which is nice. Say you just want wood, 20-watt laser, and I'll give you all the different types of wood. So, and then again, once you set it, through applying, it does that. You can go in here and change these. Obviously, I want to put the S1, 20-watt. Shouldn't change anything, but and then you just hit open XCS. It will actually import it into your settings. So now when you always go over here to 3 mil applying and actually go to cut, it will give you yeah. So now you can click on this and actually will give you this little quick reference. It's always going to be there now. So yeah. Well, thank you. You too. I think that's wrap up with you guys. Thanks for watching me. Again, we'll try this again in a month, probably. Maybe a little more cleaner. Anybody got anything? Again, follow me on YouTube. It is E2 Laser. That is my business that I run part-time. Unfortunately, I still have a full-time job for now. So we try to do the craft shows and all that stuff. Right now, I do the website. I do have a website at www.e2laserengraving.com. I try to keep it up to date, but again, it's just me doing this stuff, me and my wife. So it does keep us busy. So I appreciate you guys watching. And again, if you guys got any other questions, you can find me on Facebook. Probably the E2 Laser. If you go through the business account, I know of a lot of people trying to hit me up on my personal page. Try to keep that personal. So if you want to contact me, E2 Laser would be the best way to get a hold of me. So, alrighty, I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully, somebody got some good information out of this. And like I said, we'll try to do it again, or maybe do more of a P2 version next time. So, all right, we'll see you guys next month. Okay, let's go. So people that are still on Zoom,